Can you guys hear me? Hello. Hi, guys. I'm writing something up real quick and then we can get started. Hello. This is attempt number three. We can hear me. Can you hear me? Oh. Hi, Cheyenne. Welcome in, friend. I hope I get to see you later. Jessica. Did you see I renamed it? Star, I renamed it. Also, when you guys hit check in, did some audio play or am I crazy? Tell me audio played. Tell me audio played. Say it. Let me finish this. Wait, guys. So I didn't hear anything, but I got music going. Oh, I didn't hear audio. Oh, so it's not working. Oh, 10 stream streak. I mean, look at the material. Also, we're all the worst girl in America today, guys. I have been obsessed with this Slater album for weeks, and now TikTok knows. So I've been fed tons of content about Slater. I think I'm gonna run some solo queues, and just be silly goofy for the next few hours. Um, let me finish. I'm almost done with this email and just trying to come up with the right word. Excuse me. I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet. I have nothing to lose. Whatever. Um. Okay. And now we're here. We've arrived. Okay. Um, if solo queues aren't it, I mean, obviously the lobbies will be open for the homies. Priority for the homies, you know. Maybe not open lobbies, but if friends want to play, we can totally get some games in. I really love your stream. That's crazy, Tank, because you haven't actually given me a follow, and for that, you're banned. Get him out. Get him banned. Yeah, we work quickly up in here. Tank. Not gonna lie. Gagged it, I fear. I mean, that's not what this is for. That's wild. Yeah, yeah. I don't mess around in these parts. Gotta keep my community safe. But yes, I will. Hello, hello. Everyone refresh. My Ethernet is just going poo poo. I think it's all the weather here recently. We are back. Yes, please refresh. I'm sorry, we're probably gonna just have technical difficulties, methinks. I don't have a refresh command. Oops. Just imagine there was a command there. Yeah, I think the Ethernet's going awry. I can't imagine why though. That's okay. You know, everyone understands. I see it. Can we still hear me? I'm guessing. Do you want me to type a refresh message? Sure. I would love that. Thank you, Ryan. Also, guys, this is Ryan's first stream as a mod. Be nice.
Me.
Be nice to Ryan.
Jessica.
It's his first day as mod. I do get banned crazy. I mean, that's why you were hired, because I too get banned crazy. Guys, my hair is really long. I need a haircut. Desperately need a haircut. Look at that. Ban me, ooh. Try. Don't mess with Ryan. Banning as we speak. Cash App will be provided to get unbanned. Yes, Cash App, me and Ryan. You have the Cash App, the mod, and me. Blessed by this goddess on my. Or you're talking about Debbie Ryan? You're talking about Debbie Ryan, or are you talking about Umbreon? Venmo and PayPal. Yes, we will take all. I have Zelle as well. You know, we're flexible here. As long as the cash is in hand. I'm talking about. Thank you, Star. How are you, friend? How are you doing? So basically, what was supposed to play every time you guys hit check-in was this. Oh, interesting.
How y'all doing?
So that's not how that's supposed to work. I'm gonna have to fix that. Let's turn that off for now. So that shouldn't be the commands. Hold zone, hold zone. I'm gonna shut it off. You know what? Delete. Okay. We'll have to figure that out. I'm okay. I hurt my ankle again. Okay, Star. We need to stop falling down or whatever you're doing to hurt your ankle. You need to stop and immediately. You know, we can't afford to lose ankles over here at all. We don't have health insurance. We can't cover that. Oh, that's cute. I hate it. Delete. That should honestly be my slogan. Oh, that's cute. I hate it. Delete. If you are lurking right now, refresh for a primetime premium grade A content. Sounds like a commercial. Perfect. I don't know what I'm doing. What do you mean? You just wake up and your ankle's swollen? Star, gotta get you a brace. We gotta get you a wheelchair or something. Something to stop it from happening again. Let's get into these games. Like I said, we're definitely gonna do solo queue for now. And if I'm not feeling it, then the lobbies will be open first come first serve to homies, whoever's like around and wants to play. Um, yeah, that's about it. How was everybody's Friday? Not a wheelchair. You know, Star, anything for you. The best thrones for you. You know, the Star Gazer 100, 500, 5,000, actually. Not even 100, 5,000. Honestly, real. Yeah, let's do some solo queues and then we'll run it back with homies. Whoever's available wants to play. Oh, actually, wait, guys, we're P100 Aurella tonight, and let's talk about it. I completely forgot that this was happening today. We're at P99. This is gonna happen today. Aurella is going to P100 today. That is exciting news. Exciting news. Honestly, really, truly exciting. Let's get her to P99. What? I think this is a fine build. Actually, Conviction's just not it, low key. I might get rid of Resilient and just be a heal build. Should I have Conviction? I like being a healer. Fuck it, let's do Conviction and just hope people come heal me. P100, let's go. I know. I'm so excited. Guys. Somebody find them. Find them immediately. I'm so scared. I'm scared of all of them. Honestly, Hex, Good Boy, Heck, these are great names. I'm scared. I'm just a lowly TTV. Guys, if you see me, come say hi. Come say hi. We're friendly. I'm sad Catboy doesn't have... Yeah, it's kind of a missed opportunity. Kind of a missed opportunity not to be a gato. A gatito. Let me charge my phone. Ah, yes, the alignment. Oh, yes. The Holy Trinity, if you will. The Holy Trinity. And they form the Powerpuff Girls. Okay.
Okay. Let's try to stick together.
Twin! Hey, twin. Okay. Oh, it's a night, guys. It's a night. It's over. Just vote. Well, I have a resilience on. The power of 3 will set us free. Period. Yes, literally. That's exactly what will happen. Sorry, maybe I'm just too excited that they're in my game. this is unserious. Well, my handsome boy. Hi, Migs. What's up? Michael, get your check-in. See the where you did that sound alert? There's a check-in that you should get. I did it. I know. I shouldn't have killed all the way. Never. That sound alert reminds me of Mads all the time. Thanks, how are you doing? Yes, yes, get your check-in. We have to go for that heal. We also need to get this generator done. No, 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 no. Don't come this way. Don't come this way. Go another way. Thanks, how are you? How's school? I love you. I love you too. Oh, hell no, bro. Good boy. No, 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 no. I thought he was gonna finish. Fucking hey, bro. Come this way, come this way. You see me? Come. Why are you tunneling, you freak? Yeah, come hit me. Right, like, why are you tunneling her? Get off her back. Let me get this, blah, blah, blah. So, you thought. Not a knight in the first match, I know. I lost all this progress too on this gen, which just sucks. I'm editing photos to your project. Ooh, oh, is that what you were posting on Instagram? They actually look kind of nice. Also, the game is so loud. Hold on. Let's reduce that. I feel like I'm screaming. The game is so loud in my ears. I know, poor Catboy. GG Catboy. Good try. Oh, Adam, please. Adam, please. Adam, please. Adam, please be serious. free drop, girl. I don't care. Look, and I'm gonna go back to the gen that had progress on it. Oh my god, W teammate. Coming for the gen. Let's go. Here, I can take it down. For this kid. Come here. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I can take the down for you. That's what I'm posting. I'm gonna be showing them on Instagram. Oh, ooh, making an Instagram for it? Ooh, okay. And what's your final project about? Wow, he didn't get caught. That's so interesting. Good for him. Oh no, he did get caught. And she's over there. Honestly, I can chill here for a little bit. Come on, good boy. This is for Catboy. No, I don't think it's worth coming over here. I think she should have milked me a little longer. Thank you, good boy. Is he still getting chased? Okay, let's go this way, because the chase is going that way. So let's go this way. Oh, and there's a... Yeah, this is worth it. That's fine, that's fine. And I have conviction. Yes, yes, yes. No way! Guys! 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 Hi Richie, what's up? Welcome in, welcome in. Make sure you get your check-in. How are you doing, bro? Guys, guys, guys. Guys, no, go back to the gen, please. Why are you going that way? Go back to the gen. Please. Alive? Period, period. Ping by daylight. Like, please. Yes, Richie with the check-in. Bro, I'm glad to see you're alive. Girl. Girl, you have one hook. Girl, you have one hook. Where's Adam? Is Adam hiding? No, Adam's nowhere to be found. Okay, guys. No. Guys. He's gonna see Adam. He doesn't see Adam. Adam, please. Adam, please be serious. Come on, come on. Richie, you were streaming Marvel Rivals? When was this?
I hope that hook isn't rusted.
That was a while ago? Oh, period. I was like, I don't even know when that was. It's been a minute since you streamed. Oh, period. Got the fence down here. Heal me, please. Adam, please. You just started playing Pokemon? Ooh, what are you playing? Are you playing Pokopia or Legends? What are you up to? What are you playing? Welcome to the club. Thank you. Alright, let's go open these doors. One's over by the hook, one's over here. Oh, one's not over by hook. Damn. The Poke Club. Yeah, welcome to the Poke Club. I think I can take a chase. That pallet's still up too. ZA, ooh, how are you liking it? I love that game. We did stream that on, we had that on stream too. I'm just gonna fully open. I don't know where Adam is. I might even open this door too while I'm at it. Good boy, we're coming. Here, I'm gonna open this one too. It's different. I haven't played Pokemon game in a hot minute. Yeah, it's so different from regular Pokemon too. Good boy, please hold. I don't know where Adam is. No. Where's Adam? Guys, how have I opened both doors? Is he just camping here? Oh, she got it. Okay. Oh god, oh god. No! No, 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 no. Chase, 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 chase. Can I get a whiff in chat? Bitch. Damn, he waited too long for that. No, come on, girl. It's just vote. Just vote. Let's go. Let's go. Hi, Jam. What's up, Jam? Welcome in. What's up? It's okay. Just vote. I tried to get the Adam. I don't know why he waited so long. He should have gotten that off immediately and just ran toward me. You know what I mean? Just start the chase. Also, she should have taken that hit. Unless the night was that good, you know? GG's to them. Hey, welcome in. Welcome into all the homies. Okay, everyone, how was everyone's week? How are things going for the weekend? Are we excited? Do we have anything fun planned? Like, what is going on this weekend? This weekend, I have work. So I'm opening, like you guys know, I'm working part-time right now at a landscaping and plant store. He should have gotten on immediately. I think it's quote ad, friend. I know, it's so confusing. I think I'm just gonna I'm gonna like deactivate that and like have to redo the whole thing. Thank you, Green. Welcome in. Also, get your check-in, Green. Everyone say happy belated birthday to Green now. Say it. Do it. Green's still drunk. It's okay. Yeah, go say happy belated to Green. Yeah, thank you for the shout out for all the homies. Ryan, I appreciate it. I'm a stoner. Just let me be high and make mistakes. Oh no. There's no such thing as a mistake. Yeah, do it. Oh yeah, so like I was saying, I do open the store tomorrow and Sunday, which is not great, but it's been nice out, so it's been really nice working outside and like being in the sun and working with plants and flowers. Like, my mood is just better. I feel like at ease when I'm at work. As much muscle as I'm using. Like, my body is so sore today. My legs hurt, my feet hurt, my shoulders have been like sore, but it's all good pain, you know. The cat, me and the kitten is holding his fist. Yes, exactly. Happy little accident.
Stick together.
Exactly. It's supposed to snow again? We love that for you, baby girl. Oh, it's a little hound mommy. I fear she's... Not snow again, Allie. What? The weather is supposed to drop Sunday into Monday. Like, we're supposed to be in the 20s on Monday, which is kind of crazy. Oppression, by the way. Vox, how are you, friend? Other than that, I don't really have plans for the weekend at the moment. Hopefully tomorrow we can get into some stuff in the afternoon before stream. We're streaming at night, both Saturday and Sunday, okay? So it'll be late night, open lobby. For those who celebrate. I would love to have people in. We're gonna P100 this Arella if it's the last thing I do. What else is that? What is everyone doing for the weekend? Thank you, Dwight. Oh, just right after Dwight, by the way. Where's the phone? I'm good, baby. Just vibing to my favorite streamer. Me? Are you talking about me? Be honest. You got this, Justin. Oh, Dwight, you better get the hell out of there because why are you doing this? Why have you done this? She hit the generator. I have a flashbang now all of a sudden. Let's go back to that. Somehow I picked up a flashbang. I'm moving my office around because I'm bored of it. Okay, Star, can you please put pictures in the Discord of your setup? I would love to see everyone's setup. Mine is a mess. It's so like it's not good at all, to be honest. I really need to fix my setup. Bestie is taking me out. Yes! Is this the bestie that you always drink, like have your drinking nights with? W bestie. Hopefully the weather's good enough. Go to the mountain, that'll be so fun. Who else? I don't know. Could be Wolfie. Once it is set up, I definitely can. Please! Also, make sure you get an ankle brace. Thank you. Kate. Live, laugh, love, Kate. I have a flash grenade, guys. She didn't break this. That's so fun. Oh. Oh, that's not. Oh, she hit me. The light did not save me there. No! I don't know what I'm doing with the flash grenade. Why did I pick that up? I love my beans. Oh, is that their name? Bestie Beans. We love to see it. Green beans, if you will. I will have one in now. I think I hurt my ankle because of the shoes I've been wearing. So I bought new shoes to have better support. Oh, period. Period. Yeah. That definitely probably helps. Are they all working on the same gen? Oh, yes, they are. Oh, look at them. They're having a party over there. Green beans? Literally, that's like a great duo name. Congratulations, Green, on finding the perfect name for your best friend. Oh, Dwight, my hero. Thank you, thank you.
Stupid.
Rub my back. Well, damn. Dwight, we're gonna need you to take a hook soon, friend. We're gonna need you to take a hook, friend. Please. She doesn't even remember I was hooked here, I don't think. Oh, is this a wall? Oh, there's a whole pallet. I need to get this conviction. Another flash grenade, look at it. Should I pick it up? Guys, should I pick up the flash grenade? Be honest.
We're gonna laugh when we get out of this.
Hi, I'm new here. Oh my god, Noah. How are you doing, Bake? Welcome in. How have you been? I'm stealing this. I have no idea what I'm doing with this, but whatever, we ball. Wait, why is she taking Chase? Where is she? No. Hey! I don't have Wiggles going. Oh! You freak! Ooh, that was stupid. Why did I slow vault that? Why did I slow vault that? Also, Dwight, you? Hey, mister. I appreciate everything you've done for me. Thank you for healing. No. Thank you for healing me. But you need to take a hook, friend. Like, not the Kate dying. Girl, that hook is gone. Dwight. I've also been busy with college. Yeah, how's college? How's school? I know, I slow bolted that like a freak. Honey buns, you need to take a chase. You need to be helpful, okay? You hear me, Dwight? Let's take a chase, friend. Please. Not well, I hate it not right now. What do you mean? Wait, so do you hate it or you don't hate it? Girl, that hook is gone. Let me go find a gentle. Let me go mind my business. There's gems over here. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what map this is. You hate it? Well... Oh, hell no. Oh my god! He still sniffed me! How? She has no idea where I'm at. Momo! Smithy! Hi, Momito. How are you? How are you, my Momo? W fundraiser, by the way, yesterday. Go follow Momo if you're not. Momo yesterday, their stream was a fundraiser for... can you just plug that organization, actually? And then can we pin that org? As well, when Momo writes in. It was supporting, like, I guess, supporting the people of Lebanon and Palestine. If you do, Momo, if you want to write a little blurb in the chat about it, we can pin it, for sure. How are you? Today was a good day. It was warm out. The sun has gone down. Oh! The sun has gone down. Which is scary. Yeah, give us a link or something. Oh yes, let me get you some info. I'm still fundraising. Yes, yes, yes. Of course. Yes, let's plug it. Everyone, it's to a great cause. For folks abroad. She's gonna break the gen. She found me. She didn't break the gen. Come and get me. Come here. Ooh. Oh, almost the whiff. GG. Have I really vaulted on that 3 times? Can I get a whiff from her? Sniff, sniff. Dwight still doesn't have a hook, my friends. Dwight still doesn't have a hook?
Extra chunk.
Oh my god, she's gonna slug for the 4K girl. Just hook me. Oh, so embarrassing. I'm so embarrassed. So this is announced last Sunday, but okay. Yes, yes. Momo. GG's. Rosa's the mod, so this isn't a safe space anymore. Justin, you could have told me that before I came in. Okay. Listen, it happened in conversation, I had sort of mentioned that I needed more mods. Like, I know Rosa's been here, like, more consistently, and our schedules kind of align this way, so Rosa agreed. So about that match, I don't want to talk about it. Let's dump these points. So watch that Tomo me so. Guys, I'm so this close. This close. Okay. It seems like this will be the match that it happens. So who's free? Who wants to join the lobby that we P100 Arella? Who wants to experience this live? Is anyone available for this? Can we fill? I can join. Look at that. And that's why they're a mod. Alright? Get behind that. A down ass bitch, you know? Get you a down ass bitch like Rosa. Yeah. Well, I wonder who this is. What a crazy name. Yes, join. Yes, Green, come in. And Star, get in here. Oh my god. Look, I was gonna join Ares' lobbies and I didn't want to. Yeah, you guys can get in here for sure. Was Ares lobbies like crazy name lobbies? Imagine. What was Ares' name? There's Stargazer, and then we'll get Green. We'll get Green. Fundraising for Anera. Yes. Here. Pin that. Manually unpinned at the stream. Everyone, go there on the pin, wherever you're pointing to wherever the pin is. Go there. I'm gonna read out the message. Fundraising money for ANERA, American Near East Refugee Aid. ANERA, which has no political or religious affiliation, works on the ground with partners in Palestine, West Bank and Gaza, Lebanon, and Jordan, which is incredible work. We need tons of resources to go there. The people are incredibly vulnerable to all of the violence that is happening out there. No, but you know me. True. You know me. Honestly, you have the best nicknames on here. Would we be able to use this in our servers to help spread the links? Wait, what do you mean? Thank you so much. No, of course. The shit that's happening over there is so ridiculous and is a result of decades-long conflict out there for the same bullshit, and the people are vulnerable and in danger. Those people have literally nothing to do with anything that's happening out there, but their homes are literally the battleground for these things, and a lot of people have fallen victim. So if you can support or spread the links that more people can know about that cause and ANERA. Also, please go to Momo's streams. They're fundraising for this organization too, so you can get more information there for sure. With that being said, I do want to take a moment to talk about an initiative I want to have on stream. So once a month, I do want to have a fundraiser for different organizations. It won't be the same organization every time, but I would love for one stream a month to be strictly for fundraising for organizations that I find deeply impactful. And if you have organizations that you'd like to feature in those moments, please DM me. That's one thing. Another announcement is I am planning for an annual sort of subathon situation, which would also be a fundraiser where the proceeds would go to another organization, probably the same organization. I was curious, maybe I should do it the same day or it should be the same stream. Details still to come, but definitely something I'm intending on doing. Green's here. Period. Look, everyone's here. Of course, I can send you full book. Yeah. Yes. Send us the full. That's what you mean. I'm sorry. Ryan, I'm an idiot. But yes, Momo, send that. Honestly, you're more than welcome to just put it in the server as well, or like send me the DM and I'll mass send it out. I'll also screenshot it and share it on my socials so that more people can like stop by and fundraise with you. I think that'd be incredible. Don't be talking about my Misty like that. Yeah, don't talk about me. I'm talking about myself. I'll be right back. Hi, Peter. Sorry. Wait, I'm gonna be right back. Stay put. Perfect timing. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Peter, how are you? It's K Go Piss Girl. You know, at least you know. I'm inside a house. Ooh.
You want to live?
Hi, Skya. Also, Skya, hi. Hi, babe. Welcome in. Okay, wait. I'm getting myself situated. Oh, it's a Vecna. Oh, he went into his butthole, guys. Oh, I'm an idiot. No. Fuck off me, bro.
It begins.
Oh! Oh! Running behind me. No! Oh, he held it. He said, "Ugh." Automod. Man.
Enough games.
Oh! He held his breath, bro. Let it go. Exactly, Jam. Like, please. We're holding our breath. That's a cute little chase. He's in his butthole, guys. Ooh, corrupt. What that is? Kill me, man. Oh, that's nice. Thank you, Green. My hero. Rosa, run. Oh, Star was working here. Star. Hey, get off my gen. Get off my gen. Oh, thanks. Love that, love that. Somebody can come out into the street for heals. Free heals. Get your free heals. I'm so tired. We're working on 3D avatar texturing. Ooh, hot and Zeds are just taking a long time. Oh shit. Vecna, please. Not green. Green, I'm coming. Oh, wait. Yeah, let's get green. Heal green. Oh. Well, that's crazy. Oh, hell no!
Prepare
That was
yourself.
rude. No way. Guys. Why is he holding it like that? Guys. Guys, why was he holding it like that? He let me go? Interesting. Wait, open doors! Open doors! Open doors! Please! Please open doors! Please open doors! It's worth it! Open the door! Open the door! Open the door! Open the door! It's worth it! I promise! We should have opened the doors! I have conviction, friends! We should have just opened the doors! Wow! Wow! We should have opened the doors, God! W Wiglifs. GG's, guys. GG's! That's the homies right there. Those are the homies. They knew better than me. They knew exactly what they were doing. What? I didn't doubt us at all. I was scared. I was a little scared. Not gonna lie. But that's because I was insecure, right? I didn't doubt y'all at all. It was more like, I don't know if I can do this. You know what I mean? It was more like that. I got the Devour. Oh! Uh-oh. I had no doubts about my squad. It was me who I had doubts about. Alright, let's see. Oh, so close. 4 more. I thought this was gonna be the match. I had the discre- You were E. I have nothing. I would not have left any there. You should know that. No, yeah. Again, it wasn't the doubt in the squad. It was more like my fault. Like, my fault. I'm about to die. Homies don't leave homies. Period. Exactly, Green. You tell him. Also, I blame the delay in stream because had I known, I would have popped that bitch. Oh, yeah. I mean, but we didn't even need it. We didn't even need it. It worked out. It worked out for us. You need that cat as an emote? I do. Honestly, let's look for her right now. This is something we can do on stream. I loved you more than anything, and yes, I made mistakes. Do anything to put a smile on your face. Nicer place. Then you left me all alone at the gas station. I was crying on my own out of desperation. This song is so good. Oh, I found it, but it's all fucking gifs. No, I want an image. Sorry that you're on your way back home. This song's so good. Alright, I do think this is the one though.
Stick with me.
Stick with me. Oh, it's a spring trap. Right over there. Okay. Bye, string trap. String trap. String! He literally exited. Wolfie with the red skin. W welcome in, Raiders. We just started this match against the spring trap. It's almost like you knew. You knew we were going up against a spring trap, and so you raided me. Oh, I see. Hi, Aristotle. Welcome in. Wolfie, how was your stream? I'm sorry I didn't get to hang out today. The last 2 days, I was working. I worked an 6-hour shift yesterday. How are you? Why was the skill check this big? And I'm not even a size queen. But even that skill check was too small. Alright, I'm gonna go for star. I don't know where Ryan is. Thank you for the shouty for Wolfie. Wolfie, we're P100ing this match. P100 Arella this match for sure. Period. Exactly. I'm gonna go back to the gen. Yeah, you did. Exactly. It's like you knew. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna hit the gen. Ryan, if you can go for save. I've been doing really well. Also, if you're not following Wolfie, go follow Wolfie right. Follow Wolfie right now. Oh, he's just faster than me. I heard that too late. Anyway, go follow Wolfie! Oh! 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 Spring trap! My friend's not... No! I messed up! I almost got it too. Anyway. Go follow Wolfie, like I said. Like I said. How rude. Yeah, how rude. I was in the middle of talking to Wolfie. Don't you know Wolfie? Yeah, I've been doing really well. I've just been working. I'm like my work week is pretty much the middle of like any normal work week, and so I was open till 5 yesterday, and that took a lot out of my body. So I just like usually am offline Thursdays for the most part.
Oh, hope that hook isn't rusted.
Ryan, I doubled back. Yeah, let's do this. I'm gonna do this. Yeah. Why are the skill checks so small? This is not good. Oh, why are the skill checks like that? What perk is this? Oh! Why did he... Sir, how come you knew I was in there? I think he has Lightborn. Teabag him for me. I don't know why. He knew I was still hiding in there. Maybe he could hear me. Star. Like he immediately came this way. What a weirdo. I guess. Star, no! Live for me. I know. Star, no! This is for Star. This is for Star. Oops. That was a mistake.
Guess
I'm
I'm
gonna
off
go
the
for pick.
hook.
He's slugging? That's nasty. Why are you slugging? That's so gross. Ryan, crawl. I wish I had Wiglif. Ugh. Oh my Gabe. Oh fuck it. Fuck it, fuck it, fuck it, fuck it. I think it's gonna be me or you, friend. Pick. Okay, he picks up. He went into his little chamber. They had CCTV. Are they? Oh no. Why was I healing you? Oh, you just got off the hook. I'm so confused. A pallet in here. I'm not live though. Oh, interesting. Well, GG's TTV. I wonder if you know. I wonder if you're trying to leave me to die. Going back to Brian. Yep. I guess I'll do this. Guys, I'm scared. Guys, don't worry. I'll hold your hand. Hold my hand, please. Somebody hug me. Hook, hook, hook. Doesn't hook. He's looking for me. Why is he slugging? I'm that friend who will also hold your hair while you vomit. You sound like the best friend. Why are we slugging? Please, just pick him up. Ryan, I'm coming. Slowly but surely. Also, did you take yourself off that hook? That was a weird situation. I didn't know you could. Oh, did you just take your? Did you just get your 4%? Come on, go for pickup. Yes, hopefully it's enough points. You just 4%. That's sick. That is thick and twisted. Is he near you? It's kind of hot though. Honestly, just a little bit. Is he just on you? Shh, bitch. Ryan, bestie.
It's going to be all right. You'll be up and running in no time.
He's just gonna go for slugs? Like, that's so weird. Just kill me. You think this is... I'm literally a survivor. Like, my job is to survive. So yeah, I'm gonna be annoying, and I'm gonna hide, and I'm gonna work hard. Boring. I know, it's just extending the game. This is so strange. On one gen, like, just end the game. This killer is taking forever. Ryan, are you taming him? Please, Mr. Springtrap, just finish the game. Yes, come kill me! Kill me already! Oh my god, the slug. Ryan, I'm just gonna run over to you. This motherfucker. Like, please, just end the game! You've tortured us enough! Well, now I'm dead. And now you'll never find me, Mr. Springtrap. Never! Bestie. Bestie's coming to save me. We would like to get off the ride now, please. Yes, get me off the ride. Please, turn it off. Can I finish healing you to get another conviction? Let me finish healing you. Ryan, you go. The homie for real. Oh, Springtrap, we want you. Oh, he wants me. He's over it. Well, I'm over it too, if you wouldn't slug. Like, why are you slugging, you freak? That's fine. Come on, pick me up! Pick me up, you freak! Why is he doing this? If I didn't have my screen showing, people would be thinking I'm watching lesbian porn. Oh my god! Just pick me up! Exactly. Like, come on now. Come on now. Yeah. Finally. It's about damn time. It's about damn time. And then Ryan gets hatched. Easy. Look, if I'm anything, it's a good survivor. I'm gonna last long in the match. That was not enough, by the way. I can't even watch. I don't even want to know if you make it out, low-key.
So, what's
I can't do it.
here?
I've been in there way too long. I have been in there way too long. Get me off this ride. He wasted my time, so I'm wasting his with a bot. Period. Alright. Yeah, that Springtrap really wanted the 4K. I mean, I guess he got it. You know what I mean? Like, did you really have to slug for all that? I'm gonna last. Yeah, if there's something I have is endurance. You know what I mean? All right. Do you think this was enough? I don't think it was enough. No, it literally screamed to 48. This is such a. This is such a tease. I want my Arella to be P100, guys. Ooh. GG's to that man. I don't think I want conviction anymore, low key. It's not that I don't like it, it's just that I don't have the tools. And I'd rather run away and heal, you know? Maybe I'll do Bond for the men's so I can see everybody. Look at all of you with your flashlights. So we did no, we didn't get enough. Fucking Red Lobster, your cheddar biscuits. No, we didn't get enough. I want it. It made me hungry. I'm also kind of hungry, low key. I haven't really eaten today. I think this is the one. A Vecna, guys.
Avoid the hooks.
Are we surprised that we got a Vecna? I'm not. We've been getting the Lich a lot. Also, my headset keeps literally unplugging. Did you just get a 20? Love. I don't see Ryan. Oh, nice. Oh, he hit me anyway. I thought I dodged him. Guys, and Franklin's, bro? Like, hello? I thought I dodged that. She's... Ah! Dude, you tricked him. Good try. He thought you were taking that hook apart. W gifted to Green. Okay, no more ads for Green. We love to see it.
Stupid hook.
Imagine being on a hook. Yeah, I mean, you would know, right? You would know what that's like, right, Jelly? Hi, Jelly. Welcome in. Get your check-in. We're about to P100 this hoe. Oh, I do know. How you doing, Jelly? Welcome in. We're about to get this P100. I'm so excited. I know, Allie with the gifted. Thank you so much, Allie, for gifting a green sub. And for all the gifted you've given in chat. Vox, yes, get your check-in.
Do not tell me what to do. Or what? Are you gonna
We have tons of new sound alerts.
Because you're asking for it? You're dying for it?
Exactly. I'm gonna go for the save, I guess. Oh wait, my med kit. Hold on, let me grab this. Girly, that is not what I wanted to do. Select that.
Honey, I was in tears almost. And they had a white refrigerator. I was like, oh, not a white refrigerator. Girl, please put your shoes on. Let's go find you a home, honey.
That one's so good.
Have you ever had
Girl! Like my toes, bro. Like literally hit my toes. My toes were literally smacked. Oh yeah, he's going right to hook. I'm gonna just go work on something. I'm gonna go be productive over here. I hate the Lich. I'm not gonna lie. We have so many Lich have had so many Lich games recently. I changed the names of a lot of my sound alerts to be like more catered to what I use them for. Here's T-Star. Okay. This is not looking good. Let me heal. Anything is better than Singularity and Legion. Well, wait, is the Legion still kill switch at the moment? I haven't gone against the Legion like since that happened, so I'm guessing it's still yeah, it's stable. Gone. Yeah, they said no more. And what it was the like infinite power, right? It was a bug. That's insane. She gone. Well, yeah, we've been getting a lot of and Onryo matches too. We've been having a lot of Onryo and Lich matches. Like I feel like more Onryo than I've ever seen. Also a few Freddy Krueger too. Oni a lot. Dude, see like Oni's a little fun though. Oh! Let's go! Worth it. Worth it. Worth it. We got the gen done. Look at him vaulting. Look at him vaulting. He was a fairy. Yeah. Singularity and Knight. Knight was our first match. Yeah, we had a Knight in our first match, but we got out, so I wasn't that impressed about it. You know, it just kind of happened that way. Guys, it's gotten so dark in this room. There's a storm a-coming. Baby, there's a storm a-coming. Oh! Oh no, my star! Let's just run across the map, Oh, he's tunneling. Oh, he's a tunneling asshole. He's a tunneling asshole. Oh, okay, going for star. I'm with Ryan. Green, be okay, please. Ryan, come here. Oh, I have your flashlight, friend. Don't worry, I got your flashlight. Look, I got you a present, Ryan. Here. Here you go, Ryan. Or which one? One of the... No! I don't want this. Thank you, guys. Guys, we have to go save Green. See, now I don't have conviction, and we're getting walked over. In the morning and you- Oh, hell no. Guys, it's a wrap for Justin. That's a wrap on Justin, in case you forgot. Final episode. Oh, he was a fairy. Yeah, yeah. Green, I'm coming. Not after Star. Star, no. I want to see Star. Nice, nice, nice. Oh. No. Not what I thought was gonna happen. Star, baby. No, we love you, Star. This is for Star. They just love Star. Bitches love Star. Star, come back. He doesn't know where I'm at, though. I'm gonna just get some progress over here in case y'all have to get off. Okay. Yeah, he's over there. He's flying over. I don't know if that's your... Oh, yeah, you can punch him. I want to say can't be that exact. I got both 20s. Oh, yeah. Oh, period. I knew. I was like, you must have got a 20. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. You already know. I'm by Shaq, by the way. Sorry, throwing that. Oh no. Ryan! Ryan, I love you, best team of play! He's going for the... He has no idea. I'm dead here, guys. Just vote! Just vote! GG's. GG's. Just vote. Y'all get out. Y'all get out. Y'all get out. Why is he shaking his head at me? Just vote. He's flying, guys. I think you guys get out, though. That's the easy. That's easy. Here. Oh, look. Let me turn that light on all the way. It's honestly a desk lamp, so I can't even... Oh, maybe I should put it down here. I don't like how any of this looks. I want it here. Oh, what if I did this? I need a different light. It's literally a desk lamp that I have there. Just to look out! Thanks, Hack. I appreciate it. We were so close. Star was running his ass. Alright, this is it. I think this is it. Frankie is crazy. I couldn't find my toolbox. Literally, our stuff was everywhere. Frankenweave was crazy. Like, what was happening to us? Guys? Guys? It's finally happening. Arella, I just want to say thank you for all the games. It's honestly been great. And they love you. Behavior loves you. Remember that, Arella. And if you don't like a... Get out of the chat if you don't like Arella. Get out. Hey, yo, a 3-digit number. Yes, we love 3-digit numbers. Oh, I don't have enough. Guys, I lied. Oh, actually, wait. I might have... hold on. I already claimed that. I might have to do the store. The store will do it for me. The store. Okay, now we can do it. Guys, everyone clap for Arella. She is P100. So excited. Let's go. Yay! Pardon that. Yeah. I had to go get my funds up. I had to go withdraw some cash. P100! I'm so happy. We did it! Thank you for the clip, Green! Woo! W, Arella. W, chat. W, homies. Thank you for being here with me. Couldn't have done it without y'all. Couldn't have done it without y'all. Welcome to P100 Arella Gang. I know. I'm just like you, Momo. Also, guys, if you want. Now. And I'll lock in. I've been playing like trash. Wait, your voice is. Oh, there you go. Can you hear me now?
Just vote.
Just vote. Okay, period.
I know I'm gonna be out.
I know I'm gonna be out,
So
so just vote. Okay, I was saying that I appreciate you guys playing with me, but I understand that you have to leave. It's like very impromptu. You gotta splash it with holy water. Yeah, I have to like submerge it. No, literally my PC wouldn't even register my mic was plugged in earlier. I had to restart stream. So I don't know what it is, but I really do think I just need a new mic. No, never kicking y'all out. It was more like I don't want y'all to feel pressure to be here. Like stay.
Try to not
But
lose any blood.
of course I love playing with you. Look, the whole gang's here. Oh, Star, come. Star, we're taking a picture. Come on, Star. No, behind you. Behind you, Star. Oh. Not the donkey puncher. I'm gonna get out of there. Let me go mind my business. Maybe you. I'm dead. Now Justin. Nemesis Donkey Puncher. But Nemesis, okay, but if anyone was gonna Donkey Punch, wouldn't it be Nemesis? Like, am I that wrong? I don't think so. I think Nemesis is the most likely to Donkey Punch, you know? Momo! Malo. Oh! Momo. Not in front of chat. Momo, I don't want to have to send you to the hospital because of Nemesis, okay? Lo siento, Momo, you're making me so brave. Yeah, taking a donkey punch for the rest of us. Like, and ruin at that, like, put your tentacle away, bitch. Bitch. Dude, I hate the zombies, dude. it might be worth it. Okay, Momo. Honestly, sometimes you just gotta do something for the experience to say you did it. You know what I mean? Thank you guys. Okay, there's Ryan. Let's all take a hit. Go, Ryan, go. There's spicy bones in there. Oh! Unrelenting? Question mark? Try again, ho. Coming through Shaq. Vault, ho. You know you want to. Well, he doesn't want to commit, guys. He doesn't commit to Chase. He's too afraid. No, it's okay. We didn't take the photo yet. We'll do that in game. Yes, that one time I gave handies behind Wendy's. Box! Box! Que malo! Box, let me find out. Noted. Box just be handing out handy. With the biggie bag. I thought I could make that. Okay, give him the hook. Give him the hook. Just give him the hook. I'm gonna need that snack after for sure. Oh, a hot dog? We love hot dogs.
Guess I'm off.
Green, if you can hear me, 99 me if you can. Good job, Star. Not him punching his own zombie. Oh. Matthew, please. What other gens being worked on? Star? Come here. Star, I got you. I got you. Oh, Star. Oh, Star. Oh, Star, this is not a drill. Star, my friend, no. Hit me. Swing. Oh, great. Green, I didn't know you were there. I ran into everyone else, okay? Don't apologize. I should have healed. Go. I'm going for hook. I was trying to run by and Sabo. Oh no, and we crashed into each other. We literally crashed into each other. Oh, look at that. Oh, he's over it. Yep, good punch. Donkey punch to the head. Oh, there's no more pallet here. Star, I'm sorry. Bitch. off, bro. Oh, guys, I'm dead here. Woo! No! So close. Ooh, ooh. Well. It's okay. Let me rot. Let me rot. Get the gen done and reset probably. Yeah, just let me rot. Get the gen finished. I'll hold the hook. Nice star. That the toolbox really wants you to unhook. Poor Nemi, I'd be mad too if my fit was trash bags. I mean, like, you got a squad of 4 baddies you're going up against. You know what I mean? What door is getting open, by the way? Oh, it's that door over there. Oh, just on the door, by the way. Yeah. Go, go, go. Go, 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 go. Go, Ryan, go! Go, Ryan, go, 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 go! Let's go! Star's at the other door! Star at the other door! Star gets out though, right? Star's just fully at the other door. GG's. Look, I made up for that last game where I was trash. I made up for it. I was looping him so good. I made up for it this game, okay, guys? I can carry my own weight, I promise. Low key, I wanna start playing B again.
ไม่ชอบบรรยากาศอย่างนี้เลยฮะ
Well, you weren't trash. Well, in the last game, let's talk about the last game. You're not trash, baby. We love you. Box, how was your day? Did you have a good day today? I know the other day you were busy at work. Was work busy again today? That's gonna be my last. Green! Greenithy, thank you for being a mod. Thank you for being here. Such a monumental moment for me and Arella. The union of P100. I really appreciate you. And all your sabos, friend. Blowing Justin up in my mind for not bad about his skin. Well, yeah. Want some lemon pepper shrimp? Ooh. Oh, I'm here in chat. Oh, period. Are you gonna order from Red Lobster? Be honest. Or are you making lemon pepper shrimp? Yeah, Green. I want some food too. It's been busy, baby. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's been busy, friend. I just found out the conference I inherited from my coworker was done wrong. Oh, but life is good. Okay, cool. I'm so sorry that this project was not done right. We're all in the Hellfire Club, by the way. Hellfire Club baddies. We have an open spot too if a homie wants to join in. It's not open lobbies, but we'll fill the spot with a friend for sure. Oh no. Be right back, guys. Hold on. Oh, Peter wants to join? Okay, period. All right, we'll get Peter in next match. And we will, yeah, Peter's gonna carry. Hello? Also, guys, sorry, not sorry, but Worst Girl in America is my album of the year. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. This album is so fun. I have done nothing but listen to this album for like at least 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
Không mày xì bao bì.
Oh, it's a trickster. I didn't even notice. I'm gonna get out of there. Oh, spicy bones. I have wig lift this time, by the way. Blood favor. Yes, Momo with the 10 streams. I hear thunder, guys. I can hear the thunder from my headset, from my, like, from outside. I'm sorry, buddy, but I'm gonna... Professor Severus Snape, honestly, we have to save him. Keep up with a baddie like you, period. What's up, you guys are friends now? It's sunny over here. It's been literally storming all week. Yeah, I'm almost a baddie for real. I mean, baddies only in the chat, you know what I mean? There are no non-baddies here. And just to see. Wait, the tunnel is crazy. Trickster, get off of him. Oh, it's still happening over there. Waffles for breakfast. Ooh, yum. Oh, let me read Allie. Hold on. Lil Mac having every toddler's dream dinner. Hot dog and mac and cheese. Because she's a little macaroni. Jalapeno pepperoni pizza. That sounds good. There was a bit yesterday. Wait. I'm lost. America, explain. Why are we camping him? What did he do? Oh, I thought we were camping. He stopped chasing Ryan to go for the hook. Like, he hit my... Oh, no, Ryan's on the... Here, Ryan. Come here, come here. Oh no. I I thought for sure he would take it. Oh, we were already working on it. There's a gem back there, right? Okay, I'm gonna go back over here. Allie's a liar. She eats. Yeah, I said I love hearing what everybody has to eat because I never eat. You never eat? Allie, why don't you ever eat? I thought you made meatballs. I'll go through the house. I'll let him try to cut me off. He's gonna cut me off. That's fine. Oh. Oh, he's in his power, guys, by the way. He's in his power! MBD. Wait, why is he coming over here? Why are you coming over here to save me? Why aren't you working on a gen? You're on death code. He just gave him a 3rd kill. And he's not gonna pick up. Oh, he moried. Guys, he moried. Guys, he's moriing. Also, not Ryan on Death Hook. That's crazy. Just leave me on hook. Look. Look. Look, shit happens. My friend called me. My friend literally called me in the middle of the street. Oh, love that. Love that. Guys, this is not cute. Why is he so upset? Why does he need this? He needs this, guys. Oh, he has the. I didn't realize he had the ricochet. Love that for us. Love that. I'm looking around. You got paranoid. He's going through main. Oh, he's coming back. Never mind, he really wants us to die. We hurt his feelings, guys. I think we hurt his feelings. Actually, oh Trickster runs on his toes like he's wearing heelys. He really does. Oh, he was a TTV! I don't know why he needed to do all that. He was just camping the 2 hook. Didn't even have to. GG's. GG's TTV. Alright, Peter, get in here. Are you a Hellfire Club baddie too?
Hey.
One's in the chat for the Hellfire baddies. Oh, Star, no. Thank you for the game, Star. I appreciate you. I hope your ankle feels better. But I love playing games with you, and thank you for playing with me. So now we have another extra spot. We're just gonna keep rotating people in and out, I guess. If anybody wants to play, we probably won't be live for much longer. Maybe like another 20 or 30 minutes. Fridays will be my shorter streams, it seems. Plus I'll have to go get dinner and stuff, you know? Yeah, Star and Green. Also, can we get shout outs for both of them, please? Ryan, when you have a chance. If you're not following Green or Star, go follow them. Go hang out with them. We have a spot open. Oh. Yeah, it was Green's birthday. Ow. Oh, and Ryan too. Green. Give Ryan a shout out. Give Peter a shout out. Justin is buying us all dinner. La, la. Yeah, what do you want, Hack? I got you. I was thinking, because it's weird if I shout myself out. No. Everyone gets a shout out. No, we gotta give Ryan a shout out. La Rosa Toki. La Rosa. Yeah, of course, guys. I'm feeling wings. That's a good choice. I'm having pizza tonight. Me and Ryan are same branding? No, literally. Literally. No, literally. Peter's part of the Hellfire Club too, guys. I knew it. I knew you were. Love this journey for us. Literally, me too. Me too. I love it for y'all.
Another day, another gig.
Ada, did you get the memo? Hellfire Club only. Money, drugs, chains on my chest.
Victory screech!
Yep. Precisely. Exactly, Green. Precisely. RPD, guys. Wait. Now let's hope for a good killer, guys. We love this map. Oh, it's a cool. Damn. Sorry, Ada. Sorry about it. Not the worst killer. I'm gonna let Ada rock. I'm gonna go over here. Oh, this whole back area is open. Generator in this corner? Is it outside? It's not outside either. Wait, where's this generator? Easy. Love that. Ada, you go. Ada with the 2-gen chase, though. I guess there's no gen here either. Wait, where are these gens? That I thought I knew where they were, but apparently I don't. Like, I thought there was always a gen here. And then I always thought there was a gen here somewhere. Or at least in this corner. Oh, it's hear it. Oh, it's upstairs. Is it only upstairs or downstairs? It's never both. If you couldn't tell, I still don't know a lot about this game. Why were these gens so close to each other? Good try, Ryan. Oh. Good save. Oh, the save was on. Love that journey. Let's go. We're gonna get this third gen done. There's no gen regression perks though. He's coming right the fuck upstairs. He hit the gen, I think. That screen sounded. Peter, run! Where's hard? Hack no smart. Oh no, I knew exactly what you meant, friend. Easy? One gen, guys. One gen. Where are you guys at? Where can I heal you? Can you get me? Oh, you don't want me. He wants her. Outside. Oh. Oh, honey. I'm not out there. Someone else is. Ada, where'd you go? Ada, friend. Ada. Oh, damn. I lost Ada. I'm gonna go for the hook. Ryan, I'm coming. Honey, I'm not out there. And then all of a sudden it's Ryan. Oh, they're working on the one outside. That's what's happening. This way. Oh, I can't go down this way? Wait, what? Okay, we're gonna run. Ada, please take care. Oh wait, let's make a kill. I don't know. Let's go. Loki, that song I could not hear. I could not hear the game. I'm gonna go for save if you guys want to stop this gen. Here it comes. Nice, Peter! Oh my god, Peter the goat! Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Oh, just... Are they on Ryan? No, no, no. I'm gonna try to take this. I can afford a chase. Damn, almost made it too. Ada, you go. Ada, you go. Ada, you go. Ada, that's my go. Oh my god, Ada. Rhea with the check-in. Oh, dude, Peter, that was such BDE, bro. No, no, let me mend. Yeah, heal, heal, heal. Is it the back door that's open? Did he open doors? Howdy there, Rhea. Justin, what do you feel, Lisa? Hi, Rhea. How are you doing? Hack, you're so hot. Yeah, Hack. Did you know that? You're so hot. Is that door open? No, he opened the door for us? He opened door. Wait, he opened the door, right? Or was that you, Ryan? Was it you? Selfie. Was it you? Oh, he DC'd? No. No. He did DC! Still, oh, he had Lightborn. Oh. Poor guy. GG's. GG's cool. Didn't have to DC like that. He opened the front. Oh, he did open it. Did open the door. Sweet little girl. No. Ryan, was that it for you? Thank you for playing, Rosa. I appreciate you. I had so much fun with you. Because you gotta get ready. Oh, yeah, you're heading out. Drive safe. Head to your friend's house safely. I hope you have a great few days away from everything. Getting away from it. Sometimes the cabin fever gets the best of us. But we'll definitely chat. Show. Excuse me. Yeah. I will still be here, we just didn't pack. Oh, we didn't pack. Alright, Peter, it's all up to us. All up to us. Let's go back to Aurora for the men's. Oh. Let's go back to Aurora. Chains on my chest, that vintage Celine dollar. Diamond grills is what she says, not dollar bills. I keep thinking she says dollar bills. Let's be Gabe. Let's be Gabe. Naked Gabe. I don't wanna. No, I don't want to leave the lobby. How dare you? How dare you insinuate that I should leave? DBD knows something I don't. On my chest, vintage Celine dollar. And the sticky is there. Gabe ruined his top and refused to learn how to sew. Yeah. Gabe said, "Oh, is this how you make a shirt?" And he just put safety pins. Like this'll keep it together. I don't give a damn. This song is so good. The stickiest weed, I want a cigarette. Hi, Laura. Bubba? Bubba or Billy? It's a Billy. It's a Billy. We haven't had a Billy in a minute. Rough map for Billy Boy. Just a bit. Especially that marketplace. Hack, do you want in on games? Or are you too cool for here? Oh, he's silent. Can I get a whiff in chat? Can I get a whiff in chat? Take him out. You don't want this. Woo! Okay, no more whiffs. Can I get a whiff? Another whiff, please? He just wants to sniff me, bro. Oh, he knew it. No, don't shake your head at me, freak. He knew it. Guy doesn't know what the hooks are. Damn, so close. Oh, spicy bones. Green, I fully took that, like, stole that from you, Loki. Laura, what? Laura. Laura, what was that, friend? Laura, what was that? What just happened? I love that. Yeah, I stole that. I have been in people's chats being like, rub those bones, ever since you said that. Yeah, this is not a drill. Here, I'm gonna try to take a chance. More 4%. And let's go save Laura. Actually, I'm gonna do this. He has something that makes him silent too. Gotta rub them right. Look at me. Am I doing it right, Green? Is this how you rub bones? Come here, Laura. Yeah, feel me. Perfecto. That looked about right. They exploded just like I wanted them to. Oh, more spicy bones over there. Oh, it's the fortunes. I'm told angels are important. Haunted ground. In the basement too? I found more spicy bones. More spicy bones right over there. See them, Peter? But they're blocked. Oh, this ground? Haunted. Honestly, Ryan, that video that you posted, I was crying laughing. Peter, you're one shot, be careful. Some bones need the right spot. Yeah. FFS, yeah, it's okay, Hack. Hack, we understand you here, friend. You don't ever have to worry. Okay, no more exposed. Damn. Hi, Monte. Welcome in. Thank you for the check-in. Okay, 3 streams. I'm gonna go this way. How are you doing, Monte? Run, Gabby, run. Monte, we have spots open if you want to join in on the last 2 games. We're only playing like another... Oh, we'll probably play another game after this. You want to come in for the last game? What is Tay-Tay doing? Mr. Tay-Tay, please. I think Lara's the goner, low key. Yeah. Palette here. Tay-Tay with the DC is crazy. Well. Here, go after the bot. Hey, no. Go after the bot. Go after the bot. Go that way. You see? You did too busy over there on the hooks. Being silent. No. Alright, Peter. You get the hatch. Alright, good. How are you? Dude, Monte, I feel like I haven't spoken to you all week. I'm just having withdrawals. Oh, Peter, you should have let that bot rot. You should have let the bot rot and go for hatch. Yes, Hack, come play with me. I'm doing okay. My week was really busy. Besides the unexpected liar, never. I don't lie. Only on stream. No, but I feel like I haven't talked to you all week. I didn't get my Monte, you know? He's on my hook again. Honestly, Peter, I'm gonna let go. And you let that bot take it. You let that bot take it from you. Oh, yeah. It's hide now. Alright, Peter. Just hide. The hatch is yours. Hatch is at Shack? No. There's no hatch. I've been 2 hours late. I'm annoyed. No, it's okay. It's okay. We'll be actually rated in. I'm not sure if Peter. Why would you hit me on the hook, friend? Like, you made your point. I was already dead. Can you believe that? Can you believe? Actually, I can't. Oh, I can't even spectate. Look at that. Look at that. Easy. Did you get out, Peter? Alright, last game. Request sent. Yes. Hatch spawned in the club. Period. In the club, we all have Hatch. No, Monte. I'm just happy you're here. You're never late. You're never late. Yes. Let's go, Hack. Let's go. Last game. Guys, LG for the one time, and I'll be back tomorrow night. You'll have Hatch. Yeah, exactly. I have to fix that command so that other people can add quotes, you know? I need to rip. Ooh. My knee is killing me, guys. Every time I sit for too long now, my knee starts to hurt. What could that be? I've never seen this Ace skin hack. I'll play with you tomorrow all night. Yeah, it's Monte, please. We'll be doing open lobbies tomorrow. Also, Monte, we did it. We did it, Joe. P100, actually, P100 Arella. We'll do the Arella for the last match. P100 Arella today. V is next. Yes, why did I say congratulations? That was crazy. It's an AOT skin? Oh, no way. I still haven't seen AOT. Yes, we got our P100. Also, if you don't know already, everyone in chat right now, check out the pin for an incredible cause to look into and donate some money into.
Let's
Um,
avoid the hooks and hit
It's
those
called
generators.
Anera, and it's an organization that works with partners in Palestine, Lebanon, Jordan, to help provide aid and make sure that those people who are super vulnerable right now overseas get the support and the resources they like really need to survive. Dracula. Everyone check them out. Momo was streaming yesterday, and stream was a fundraiser for them. So, and I believe they're still fundraising. So check them out, and check out Momo's stream. I missed it. We had a long, like very productive stream today. Don't worry, you won't miss tomorrow, right? Wolfie brought in all the homies. Wolfie came in with a massive raid. Yeah. Thank you, Ryan. Where did everybody go? Oh, I see. Smile on your face. Lowry girl. Oh, Hack, I'm coming. Good try, Hack. I don't have Wiglif, unfortunately. No, Hack. Oh, not with the throat, not by the throat. Hack, did you give him permission to hold you like that? Be honest. Excuse me. I'm gonna go save. He wants Hack's number. He said, Hack, you a cutie. Can I get your number? Got you, Hack.
It's going to be all right. You'll be up and running in no time.
Where are the generators? Better question. She's having the hook. There you go, Laurie's on it. Oh, just on Laurie. Damn, take him down, take him down. How do you know the blood favors crazy? Or, yeah. Woo! Can I get a whiff for the puppers? Damn, he really don't give a damn about me. Thank you, Green. Dracula all hung up about Hack. Literally. Wait. Okay. Come here. Oh, buddy. Oh, sweetie. That's not where I'm at. Guys, wait. Guys, wait, I think I scared him. No, I'm sorry, Dracula. Come back. I'm sorry. I don't want you to hate me. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Oh, no. Good try. Oh, Hack, I'm coming. It's okay, Hack, I got you.
I'm not gonna let nothing happen to you.
I'm not gonna let nothing happen to you. He left me again! He don't want me. Guys, he doesn't want me. Do you think it's Noed, guys? Open the door! Open the door, I'm here! No, it's not Noed. Oh, but it's Bloodfaver here. He left me. Okay, you got the save. I'm leaving. No, Peter! What door? Oh, wait, Hack, Hack, Hack! Hack, I'm here. Come back, Lori! Lori, come back over here. Alright, ready? Let's go! Teamwork! I'll take the back. Go, Lori, go! Go, Lori, go! Go, Lori! Oh, GG's, Lori. W random for the homies! Go, go, go! Go, go, go! Go, 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 go! Homies, assemble! That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Make it out easy. GG's to the homies. Good job, guys. Got a blast. Oh. Let's go. Teamwork. I'll take the back. Yeah, literally. Lori got hate. GG's, Lori. You tried. You tried. Alright, guys. Thank you for the games, Hack. Thank you for Hack and Peter. Thank you for playing with me. We'll definitely have to get games in tomorrow. But we are done for the day. I hope to see you guys tomorrow night in the Discord. I did say 8 p.m. I think, or 8:30. So we'll try to aim for around then, like we did today. We aimed for around 2:30. I also have to figure out what's wrong with my mic and stuff, so we'll do some troubleshooting. Aries is celebrating their birthday, so we might go raid Aries. Let's go raid Aries. Aries is another Bodhi babe. Aries. Is it 2 S's or 3? It's 2. Okay. Alright, let's go hang out with Aries. It's followers only, but honestly, I think a bunch of you are already following Aries, so yes. It's Mary's. It's their birthday. Let's hang out with them. Yeah, and I'll see you all tomorrow night, okay? I have to copy my own race grade message, by the way. Everyone go say happy birthday to Aries, okay? And if you don't, I'm gonna be mad at you forever. Okay? So don't let me find out you didn't say happy birthday. Good night, everybody. Have a great Friday evening. Everyone be safe. And thank you again for coming to stream. Stream is only fun when you guys show up. And I do this to hang out with y'all, so it means so much to me when you guys are here. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.